Is there ever a time when your mind refuses to shut off? Having a long day and finally getting to bed after all of your responsibilities causes your brain to bring up every possible worry. Or you start thinking about all of the things you have to do the next day, and before you know it, you're wide awake and you're feeling anxious. So in this video, you'll learn some powerful techniques that will allow you to fall asleep even if you're anxious and stressed out. My name is Sarah Jeffries. I'm a registered nurse with a Master's of Science in Nursing and experience in ER education and sleep therapy. We're all born with the ability to fall asleep. However, there are many reasons why it's difficult for us to sleep well. And one of those reasons might be because you've developed a routine for keeping your brain active at night. Our brain likes to make paired associations. This is when we're doing something automatically and it triggers your brain to do something. It's called a reflective response. So having a pre-bed routine, like wearing a sleep mask or doing other sleep hygiene routines, can help your brain turn on sleep hormones like melatonin. The good news is that if you're in the middle of bad habits, your brain is built to rewire itself, and it's capable of pairing and unpairing some helpful and unhelpful associations. You have to learn to associate bedtime with getting some sleep instead of just worrying. But I understand it's hard and you can't just tell your brain to stop worrying. Instead, we have to learn to avoid worrying only at nighttime. Most of you might think of worrying as a negative emotion, and you'd be right, it is a negative emotion, but actually it's helpful if you do it in the right way and at the right time, as opposed to unproductive worrying, which comes up at the wrong time and leads us to so many endless hypotheticals. And it spirals into these thinking patterns that leaves us feeling really anxious, and that can fill your body with stress hormones, which is not ideal when you're trying to fall asleep. So when you can't sleep because you're thinking about all the things you're worried about, the best thing to do is think about them while you're awake. During the day, you need to face your problems head on and allow yourself time to process them. So hopefully the result is you won't have to worry about it at night when you're trying to relax and fall asleep. Next, I'm going to tell you about a simple daily habit that you can do to help yourself wind down and drift off to sleep. Disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only and not a replacement for medical advice or treatment. So here are some things you can do right now to help yourself get some shut-eye. It's called deliberate worry. This happens when you make a conscious decision to worry and consistently set aside time each day to address your worries and formulate a strategy. That way, you're telling your brain that this isn't something you're going to worry about when you're trying to go to sleep. So here are some steps to get into that deliberate worry. First, you need to begin writing down all of your worries. So plan to do this every day as part of your daily routine. If you're somebody who's lying wide awake and worrying, set aside time during the day to do deliberate worrying, where you're writing down all of your worries on a piece of paper. After you've made your list, it's time to go through your concerns and prioritize them. This step means that you'll want to review it and identify which of your concerns can be taken care of, because not all worries can be taken care of. And that brings me on to the next point, which is acceptance. We all know that we can't resolve some issues right away, and we just have to accept this. Put your thoughts aside and tell yourself, I can't do everything at once, or even better, I can't control everything. And this is about identifying what you can control and what you can't control. Now, before I go on to the final point, make sure you don't miss any future videos. Be sure to subscribe or leave a comment down below if you have any experience of doing this deliberate worry during the day. So the last step is to learn how to shift your focus and have time to face your fears head on. You choose what your brain will focus on, and I recommend focusing on something positive. Spend some time thinking about the good things in your life and reminding yourself of your achievements. You can do this right before you're falling asleep as part of your routine, because you know that you've done your deliberate worry and you've wrote your list down during the day, and now you're rewiring your brain, and now before you're falling asleep you're doing your gratitude or you're shifting your focus to something positive in your life. So to sum it up, if you're having trouble falling asleep at night because you're worrying, try deliberate practice of facing your worries during the day, writing down that list of worries. Set a time each day to do that. Get your regular bedtime routine and get good sleep hygiene. And if you want to know some good tips on how to fall asleep fast, click here where I tell you all about it.